Hey, who doesn't need a little extra balance, stability, and power in their lives? Well, that's what we're going to do. Coach Nate here with Fleet Feet. I'm going to take you through 3 exercises to improve those things. It's going to be some single leg focused work, and it's going to be a really nice progression. So if you've nailed step 1, you'll be able to get into step 2 and step 3. Let's step into it. So our first exercise is really gonna focus on that balance part by, you guessed it, balancing on one leg at a time. Now, literally what I can just start is just shifting my weight over to one leg and starting to pick this leg up off the ground. And what I wanna think about is spreading my toes nice and wide and thinking about equal pressure between my heel, my big toe, and my pinky toe, my 1st and 5th metatarsal. So I've got that like tripod stance there, which is really gonna be helpful. I wanna make sure my hips are nice and even. And now I'm just gonna start looking at the ground because that's gonna help me with a little bit of balance. If I needed to hold on to something or a railing, I could do that too. And then if I feel good, what I'm gonna start to do is change where my eyes are focusing, and that's gonna make this balance a little bit more difficult. For example, what I could do is I could try to look over shoulder. Yeah, I could then move and I could look over another shoulder. Woo, starting to get a little wobbly. If I want to go big, I'm going to go ahead and look up. And if I want to go really big, I'm going to look up and close my eyes. Woo, woo-hoo. Everything's starting to activate. Calves, feet, ankles, so good for building that foot strength, ankle strength, hips, and everything. Now what we're going to do is add a little bit of range of motion with our next exercise. Next exercise, we're gonna build on this balance and we're gonna add a little bit of depth to it. And what I mean by depth is a little squat depth in terms of a quarter squat. Now, when I teach squats, the main thing I focus on, just with 2 legs for a second, is not letting my knees go forward. We're very quad dominant as people these days. So that's why our knees are cranky sometimes, our quads are really tight, and we're not as strong back here. So one of the ways we solve that is by not letting our knees bend first, but by thinking about letting our hips bend first. So you see the difference here versus this. So I'm gonna do that, but on one leg. I'm gonna balance here. And again, the thing I wanna avoid is that my knee goes forward or wobbles inward. And I'm gonna think about pushing my hip back. So notice that I'm really actively hinging over at the chest, pushing my hip back just a little bit, and trying to find that balance point. And if I need to, I could just put this toe on the ground, not a lot of weight here, maybe like 5%, 10% tops, and I could even do something like this if I want to get that range of motion without that little bit of extra balance challenge. Facing straight on, I want you to pay attention to what my knee is doing. When I'm squatting, I really want to make sure that my knees aren't going forward or in. This position is ugly. This is where when we run, the foot collapses, the knee dives inward, opens me up to knee issues with my IT band. So what I'm gonna think about is hips back, and I'm deliberately kind of rotating my body this way to kind of help keep my hips in line and keep this knee tracking where I want it to be. Third version of this thing, we've built our stabilizers up and warmed them up with a little bit of balance. We've started to activate those key muscles in those right movement patterns working on that single leg squat. We're finally gonna add a little bit of explosivity with a squat jump. So what I'm gonna focus here is I'm gonna drop down a little bit. And this first thing is just a little bit off the ground. So notice it's kind of like an anticlimactic jump. I'm not going very high. I'm just trying to unweight my foot. And if I need to, I can touch this toe on the ground to stabilize, drop down here. Next step, can I keep this foot off the ground all the way? Not only am I gonna get that explosive part, but I'm gonna get that catch, that wobble, I gotta stabilize. And then if I feel good, can I start to go a little bit higher? I'm breathing a little bit hard. We don't need to do a ton of reps of those, but good way to build up on those skills we're developing, add that big explosive push, give us a little bit of power in our stride. So now that we got our exercises, how are we gonna put this together? Well, here's where I like to start. I like to start all on left leg, progressing all the way through those movements, and then working all the way on the right leg, progressing all the way through those movements. So I might start with 30 seconds of progressively more difficult balance on this leg. If I need to, I can take a break. Then I'm gonna go right back into my single leg quarter squats, going through those movements here. I like to do 5 to 8 reps of these initially. And if you feel like 8 reps is really easy, my challenge to you is go a little bit deeper into those squats. That's gonna make it a little bit harder. Take a little bit of a break, and then finally, I'm gonna add those squat jumps on that left side. That left leg is gonna be super active, super burning, and I'm gonna repeat that whole process on the right leg. Try to do 3 rounds of that total. Because hey, if you've signed up for the Big Run, you're in the Big Run training program with us that we're doing with Brooks right now, or you're doing one of our 5K events for Global Running Day, we want you strong, not just running. It's gonna support your running, it's gonna help you out so much. If you wanna learn more about the Big Run and sign up at a local Fleet Feet near you, there's a link below this video. It'll take you to a website where you can learn all of that and more. And if you want more strength and core workouts, I've got another video playing over my shoulder. It does just that. I'll see you in there. You guys keep running.